Now, Darcy. Can you hear me now, Darcy? It looks like I'm moving now. Good morning. Darcy, if you can hear me, let me know. I set this up a little bit of a different way. Give me a thumbs up, Darcy. Can you hear me? Now we can. All right. Well, it's good that you missed that first part because my voice was cutting out. I not too many times yelling at the puppy this weekend. Oh my gosh, this puppy is probably like I lived in a pet shop world. My mom's a dog groomer of like 55 years. We've never known our life to be without pets. And so our household has always had puppies and pets. I'm glad you showed up, Darcy, because my mouth would have just been moving and there would have been no sound at all. But anyway, this puppy is incredible. He's already potty trained. He's only made a couple of accidents in the house. At the end of the show today, of course, I'm going to bring him up and I'm going to show Remington. He's an incredible puppy. So yeah, I'm glad you did show up, Darcy, because technical stuff, it's perfect when we do the show together, and then when I do the show apart from you, it falls apart. So good Monday morning, everybody. Did you have a good weekend? I want to know what is the best thing that happened to you this weekend? And where did you struggle? Tell me that too. Coach Darcy is the optimist in our coaching team, and so she always starts with the good stuff. So I'm going to mimic her, and I want to know everything that happened this weekend. Did you have a good weekend? Did you stay on plan? Did you have a struggle this weekend? Sometimes the weekends knock us on our butt, especially with the topic that we're going to talk about today. I get to talk about my passion. So, by the way, if you wouldn't mind, this is also something Darcy does during our shows together. She asks you to like and share this video. Um, One of my goals of 2024, because I'm horrible at this, I'm horrible at algorithm. I'm good at macros. I'm good at weight loss. I'm good at, reversing type 2 diabetes. There's things that we excel in and things that we stink in. And one of the things that I stink in is Facebook, social media, TikTok, all of those algorithms. I hate them because I just hate them. Got your real lipstick on. I'm glad, Darcy. I'm glad. I got my lipstick on this morning too. I just decided, okay, I could either hop out of bed and sit there, by the Christmas tree for an hour, or I could get ready for the day and I could get ready to slay the day. I like to do both. I like my quiet times, but I also like to get the day started out. There's something when you put on lipstick, something when you put on shoes, and your lipstick, even if you have my office is in my house, and so sometimes you don't have to do that. If you're in front of the computer all day, sometimes you just have to look good from the waist up, right? We don't. None of us ever does that. Um, so anyway, one of the things I hate the most is social media algorithm. It just seems like it picks and chooses, and some of those TikTok algorithms are like, are you serious? I put an hour's worth of effort into this content, and you're going to show the person sitting there eating this Big Mac for an hour. I don't understand how it works, but that's one of my goals of 2024 is to work on the algorithm. So you can help me by just liking and sharing this video. So today I'm going to talk about one of my passions because it's something that, as I lost 120 pounds, it's something that really impacted my healing process, and that is food addiction. And funny thing was, I didn't know I had a food addiction until I reached my maintenance. Crazy as that sounds, you would think that, as you're losing the weight, you learn what you're doing wrong, right? I'm a good rule follower. And so for me, the weight loss portion was not hard because I was a really good person at following rules. Give me a list of rules, give me a meal plan, give me, I'll follow it and I won't break it if it's the last thing I do. The problem with that is um, you reach a point in your journey called maintenance, and you are like thrown into the deep end, and it's like you're living your journey all over again. You see, weight loss is easy. Consistency is the only ingredient that you need. Of course, I have all these other tips, and we have, the science behind why we believe in the low carb lifestyle. We have all of that stuff, but it doesn't work if you're not consistent. If you don't have consistency in your weight loss journey, you might as well pack up your tools and go home, because you literally could unravel a great week that you've stayed on your calories, you stayed on your carbs, you've stayed on all those, and you could unravel it in one weekend. And so the number one ingredient for weight loss is consistency. Well, I had that, right? I had that because as you remain consistent, the weight falls off. And when the weight falls off, you're encouraged and you are pressed to go to that next level. You're pressed to go down that next pant size, because the shopping experiences, I went from only having a few choices on the clothes rack to having a whole world open up. Now, don't get me started on what it did to our finances. There were some times that I would go down a pant size and I wouldn't even be able to wear the clothes that I bought because it happened so quickly. The ingredient that kept me into the weight loss journey was consistency. If you don't have consistency, you're not going to be successful. That's the number one ingredient right there. And so I found that I was a great rule follower, and I found out that losing weight was fun and I could get more clothes, and it just all worked out. But then something happened and I went into this thing called maintenance. And when we talk about maintenance, that's a whole nother journey. And so that's when our clients get serious when it comes to, okay, hey, Monica, I am nearing that scale. I'm nearing that goal, that magical number we pull out of the air, which don't ask me where we get those numbers. I always wanted to be 130 pounds. I'm not ever going to be a 130 pounds, right? It's not in the cards for me. But that was the number that I pulled out of the magical unicorn air. And it came up and I said, I want to be 35 pounds. Why? Did I really assess myself? Did I really assess my body structure? Did I really assess that I'm going into menopause? Did I really assess all of those realities? Well, the fact of the matter is I didn't. And so when I got to that magical number in the sky, that wasn't where my body needed to be. And so I went into this thing called maintenance and I crashed into maintenance. Now, let me tell you, I've kept 120 pounds off. Part of it is what I do for a living. I do this for a living. And so I teach what I do. I never take a client where I have not walked. And now I'm walking in maintenance. Now I'm walking in hormone changes. Now I'm walking in, and this whole world is opening up to me and I'm learning. But I found out I was a sugar addict after it was a podcast that I was listening to with Ben Azadi and Bitten from Bitten's Addiction. And Bitten Johnson is her name. And I was sitting there in front of the Christmas tree, actually. I was sitting there and was listening to this woman talk about struggles that my clients were going through. And Coach Darcy and I we've got our signature program. We've got the things that work, right? But when you work with real clients and when you get in the pit with your client, it's a whole different ballgame. It has nothing to do with calories. It has nothing to do with carbs. It has everything to do with marriage, life, kids, Olive Garden, all of those things is real life. And so this woman was giving words that I was experiencing at the moment. She was giving words to my clients, and I was seeing pictures of different clients over my head. If you could have seen it, it was hilarious. And I'm like, Darcy, you have to listen to this podcast. This woman just diagnosed my clients. I was so excited. I'm like, I have to speak with her. I don't know how, but I have to speak with her. I'd never talked to Ben Azadi in my life. He's a pretty cool guy. I'd love to talk to him sometime. But I'm like, how do I get a hold of this woman? Well, I did some little internet digging and I found her. I found her phone number and I did an interview with her and I cried. I'm like, you just gave me the key that was missing in my practice. I've been an active health coaching practice for over 6 years now. And I was missing a piece of that puzzle and I didn't have it. And I said, you just gave me the key. Well, her program was really, really expensive. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I'm a brand new health coaching practice. There's no way I can do this. How in the world? But that day, I'm like, I committed to it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this, but I'm going to. And I started with the sugar portion of her program. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I took her screening tool. And I took her screening tool, and by the way, I can do this. I am a certified sugar specialist, and I have this tool. It's based on the ADDIS, the Addiction Diagnosis Interview Schedule, and it's been adapted to sugar. When I say sugar, get this, and hear me closely. When I say the word sugar, a lot of us think, oh, I don't like cookies, I don't like cakes, I don't like pies. My Achilles heel and my kryptonite is potato chips and the processed foods. When I say the word sugar, I'm talking about all of that. It is interconnected. Sugar is carbs. Sugar are carbs. Sugar is carbs, right? And it is processed food. It's seed oils. It's salty and it's sweet. So when I say sugar, encapsulate them all. Okay. Um, and so you know me. If you know me personally, I'm never cocky. I'm never arrogant. I don't ever have opinions. I'm always gray, right? And all of you are laughing because you know me. I have a couple of opinions. I have a couple of things that, yeah, okay, Monica, yeah. So you're going to be surprised when I tell you I went into this sugar screening with a little bit of a cocky attitude because I had lost 120 pounds. I know the stuff. I own a coaching company. I know all the things, right? And so certainly Coach Monica has none of the problems. And I was just going through the motions so I could experience what my clients are going to experience from me. Last words, right, of a foolish person. Because what Bitten told me was I was a food addict. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I lost 120 pounds. I am not a food addict. I've got it all under control, right? No, I was a food addict. So I found out I was a food addict after I had lost the 120 pounds. Do you know how easy it would have been for my journey if I would have known on the front side that I was a food addict? But what happened after I had hit maintenance and after I took this assessment, by the way, if you would like to take this assessment, I do this. I put a link in the comments section, and I'm going to put it here really quick. If you want to find out if this is you, sign up. Sign up, and there's a test right there on my website. You can find out if any of this applies to you. So I took this and I was angry with Bitten. I was so angry with her. I'm like, I am a health coach. I'm helping women lose weight. I'm doing my job. Very successful practice. How dare you tell me I'm a food addict? And after I took that assessment and after I realized, my gosh, Monica, you are, it was the most freeing day of my life. Now, this was after I had already enrolled in her program to get my HMA, my holistic medicine of addictions. I had already registered, and so I already knew that I needed this tool. What I didn't know that I was my own client. And that was the most freeing day of my life because I realized I didn't have a diet problem. I had a brain problem. I had a brain addict. My addict brain spoke loudly. Now, it was under control because I knew the rules, because I knew how to lose weight. So mine was under control. However, I had switched my addiction from food to sugar to wine. I had switched my addiction. I had addiction transfer. So right then, when I took that addiction test with her, it looked clean. It looked, because I had lost 120 pounds, it looked like I was clean. However, my addiction transfer showed up in that screening, and I realized, wow, you are one step away from relapse if you don't get this thing under control. Now, I was mad at her. I didn't talk to her for a month. I stopped my studies because I thought this is the dumbest training I've ever experienced. She had the nerve to tell me I was a food addict, and here I am, a coach. I'm supposed to be perfect, right? My clients want me and Coach Darcy to be perfect. No, they don't. They want us to know we're human. They don't want a skinny health coach. They want somebody who has been through the mud, who has walked through it. And here I was trying to be this perfect health coach. That's another topic of the day, right? So what I did was I took a couple of months and I let it sit with me. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have had clients take this addiction assessment, get mad at me, and walk away from my program because they were so angry. That's normal. That is completely normal. And what happens is they try to do it on their own. They go through it and they're like, Oh my gosh, she was right. She was right. So, I'm going to talk about a couple of these things. If you want the complete assessment, if you want to know, am I a food addict? Am I a sugar addict? Go to the link that I just posted here and you can take it for yourself. You can click that QR code above and click on my page, Coach Monica's page, and you will see that sugar test. Right there. And it is just the simplified version of what I give. What I give my clients is 48 questions. It's like a personality test. So I ask the questions different ways. We find out when. Did you know the average person who is a food addict has become addicted at the age of 3? If you look at formula ingredients, you will understand why. The crap that they put in formula is absolutely asinine. When I look at that, and I look at the corn syrup, I look at the maltodextrin, I look at all of those things in there. No wonder our children have type 2 diabetes at birth. As children, we should never have a type 2 diabetic as a child. We should never. That's a side note. That's a little bit of a soap opera box. But the average person becomes addicted to food at the age of 3. Read the ingredients. You know what we shove down our kids when they're infants? We shove juice. The worst thing that you could possibly drink. we give it to our kids thinking it's healthy. It's not healthy, right? So, couple of the things that may kind of trigger something in you, and it's okay to be mad. I was mad at Bitten for 3 months. I didn't speak to her, and I'm like, that's a wasted bunch of grands that I just spent on this program because I'm mad at her. So that's what I experienced as a person who had already gone through the process. So there's a couple of things, and I'm just going to pull out a couple of the tests that you would actually take in that link that I sent you that may resonate with you, and you're maybe like, gosh, I am a food addict. Do you know what? If you realize you're a food addict before you start your healing process, the easier your healing process will be. The faster you can grieve over the foods. My drug of choice was, did you see that little guy? I don't think you can because you see the words, but my little Great Dane just walked by. Craving sugary foods. Remember, the definition of sugar is carbs, okay? So you may not have a sweet tooth, but you may have a salty tooth. The same thing. Your body goes through the same thing when you ingest chips versus when you ingest a donut, okay? So when I talk about sugar, that's what I'm talking about. If you crave sweets even after eating a full meal, it could be a sign of sugar addiction. Now, when you download my test on there, you have to have a certain number of yeses and a certain number of nos to be actually diagnosed or screened as a sugar addict. Okay, so there's a bunch of questions that you ask, and it's completely free. It's on that website, that link that I posted here in the comments section below. If you crave sweets even after eating a full meal, okay, of course it's time for the puppy to go potty in the middle of my life, so I just shoved him right back. And he listened to me. If you have a loss of control, if you eat sugar foods in larger amounts, remember, salty, sweet, both are the same. All right. If you eat these foods in a larger amount over a longer period than intended. If you have had unsuccessful efforts to cut down, to reduce your sugar/food intake, you could be a sugar addict. If you have a significant amount of time spent in activities in order to obtain these things, okay, to use or to recover from the effects. Now, this is where, actually, the next one is one that got me, okay? Hold on a second. Nope, go lay down. If you've had reduced social, occupational, or recreational activities, you might give up an important social event, an occupational event, or a recreation event due to sugar use. Okay? If you continue to use despite knowledge of physical or psychological problem, this is big. Many of us have gotten mad at our doctor when our doctor has said, hey, we've got a problem. You are pre-diabetic. You are insulin resistant. You are overweight, right? And we toss it off and say, just give me a pill. When we can't change our life, when the doctor has said your life is in danger, you are pre-diabetic, you've got to reverse your diet, and you cannot do that, or you choose not to do that, you could be a food addict, sugar addict. Over time, if you need more sugar to achieve this desired effect, this indicates a growing tolerance. I'm going to tell you something that has been proven over and over again. Sugar is more powerful than heroin or cocaine. The problem is sugar slash carbs. We have to go to the grocery store, whereas a heroin addict can stop, can turn it off. An alcoholic does not go to the bar anymore. A crack addict does not buy the drug anymore. We have to go to the grocery store, and it is overlaid. It's like overloaded. The marketers get it. The end caps were designed for food addiction. The end caps, where all of those yummy foods are, designed for drug sales, right? Nope, nope, come here. Nope. So, if you have a tolerance, you need more and more over a certain amount of time. I'm going to pause right here. Sarah, you cannot hear me. Can you let him out right away, please? Like right now. Thank you very much. When you're doing a live and you have a baby Great Dane puppy, things could go south. If you have withdrawal experiences, now this is something that people are like, oh, that's not me. I could give it up any time. Try giving it up for 2 weeks and see what happens. If you have withdrawal symptoms, headaches, cravings, you have hallucinations. I remember when I broke my sugar addiction the first time, when I first cut it off, I would have dreams of Dairy Queen ice cream, and it was soft serve, and it was the soft caramel drizzling down. I would have dreams, repetitive, reoccurring dreams over these things. If you are like, oh, that's not me, try it for 2 weeks and see what happens, right? First 2 weeks in my program is called Hell Week. That is when we rip the Band-Aid off and we rip that addiction away immediately. Okay. If you have excessive time spent on sweets, or again, carbs, pizza, those kinds of things, it can be time spent buying, eating, or planning to eat these things. Hold on 1 second. All right. Okay. Everybody, this is Remington. He is going out potty, but I wanted to show him to you before. Yeah, he's a good boy. Okay. Thank you. My office assistant has come to bail me out. Daily impact on your life. Your sugar consumption negatively impacts you, okay? One of the things that got me, and remember I said I was a healed sugar addict? I was healed. I had lost 120 pounds. I'd been great keeping it off. What I had was addiction transfer. So my addiction turned from sugar and carbs. It turned to buying, shopping. It's called a dry drunk. And one of the questions that failed me on the test, that I couldn't figure out why Bitten said I was a sugar addict when I'd lost 120 pounds and I was keeping it off, and I hadn't gone back to my old eating lifestyle. What I had done was I had exchanged sugar for sugar-free sweets. I made sure that when I went to a party or when I went to an event, that I had Lily's chocolate, or I had a keto treat, or I had something that was with me so that I could partake with everybody else. That's a sign. I was prepared. Now that's good for the weight loss portion. It's not good for the addiction. And when I realized that I had addiction transfer, I'm like, oh, I had not healed properly. And so I am in, this will be year 2 of recovery. Okay, you're in recovery if you have been in recovery over 6 months. Okay, so I'm in year 2 of recovery, and the goal is we're not doing the remission thing. We are not doing the recovery. We're not doing that again. And so, all of these things are. If I had learned this before I had gone through my weight loss journey, it would have been so much easier. I would have realized. Let me tell you, friend, there's no moderation for an addict. When you have an addict's brain, that brain is very, very loud. It speaks stronger than any other voice in your life. The addict brain, it's a chemical problem. It is not, you've failed. So many times people are like, Monica, I failed again. I failed again. I failed again. I keep failing. No, honey, you have not failed. What you have is you have a different brain. It is not, you are not broken. You have a different brain. Your brain is chemically addicted. And so basically, in a nutshell, go take that test. Absolutely. If you are brave, go take that test. I put the link, and I'll put it right here again. I put the link in the comment section. It's free, completely free. And then set up a call with me. If you are struggling with this food addiction and you're like, gosh, Monica, I want to heal right. I know that, yeah, I need to lose weight, but I don't want to just lose weight. I want to heal right. I want to heal this right. I have started an addiction, a food addiction treatment center. It's online, okay? And it is something that it's an 18-month program. It's intense. We take apart addiction one theme at a time. You're with me for 18 months. This is a long term, this is an intense program. This is for somebody who is only serious about being free of food addiction. This is not for somebody who wants to get in their swimsuit the next summer. I don't even take those clients anymore, honestly. They go through my weight loss program, they do it, it's a done deal. This is for somebody who is sick and tired of dieting, sick and tired of not understanding why they cannot keep that healing intact, that they lose the weight and then they gain it back again. They lose the weight, they gain it back again. This is for those people who are sick and tired of the diet yo-yo cycles, when they realize maybe I have a deeper problem than what I thought. So you will find the link that I posted in there. You will find all of my information, all of the access to that program, and you'll find everything you need from there. And if you're just like, gosh, Monica, I want to lose weight. Number one, join Coach Darcy and I tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. We have a really, really fun time. My lives are so boring compared to when we can do our program together. I love that. But she does her lives, I do my lives. And so make sure you join Coach Darcy and I tomorrow at 11. Number two, you may be like, Dust, I just need to know how to lose the weight. You totally can do that. We have programs for that. Coach Darcy and I are here. Coach Kathy is going to start up here in January, where she does all of our therapeutic keto for those people who want to reverse type 2 diabetes, epilepsy, those kinds of things. So we have a different kind of program for every different kind of person. So we recommend not signing up for a program online. We recommend getting us on the phone first, because we can help walk you through step by step. You may not need the addiction program. Maybe you need something else, and you think you need the ageless keto program, when in fact you've done the diet cycle so many times, you're like, okay, there's a deeper problem here. I actually probably need the addiction program. So that's why we like to talk to you first. And that's why we like to make sure that you are plugged into the right place. There's nothing more frustrating for both you as a client and me as a coach than you being in the wrong program. Because we both will be like, oh my gosh, this is not working. What is wrong with me? And it's nothing wrong with you. It's the program. You've got the wrong program. So we got a lot of announcements coming up for 2024. We've got a couple of new things coming up. So we're really excited. We love you. I will see you tomorrow with Coach Darcy at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day. Have a great Monday. Go slay this day. All right? You've got this. Put your lipstick on.